It is day number 195 in the year 2021. There are 170 days left in the year to make it great. We are in the middle of week number 28. 53.15% of the year has come and gone. On this, the 14th day of July, 2021. It's Wednesday. It looks to be a bright, sunshiny day. So go out and make the best of it. Good morning to you wherever you are, the north, south, east, or west. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I love the summer months, not because it's summer or anything like that, but because the traffic, it's all gone. You drive into town, whether you're coming from the south, whether you're coming from the north, with ease. Become more composed. You don't get angry with bus drivers or others doing foolish things in traffic. People don't just, well, they still do it, but it's less frequent. Stop at corners, offloading, talking, and could care less who's behind them. I wish every month could be a summer month, just for the traffic. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you're having a very good day wherever you are in Dominica, or if you're overseas, good morning to you.
Good morning to Dominicans, wherever you are. Let's hope you're having a very good day today. It's a very bright and sunny Wednesday, and I guess most of you would have hoped for a very good day today. Let's hope you can be very productive today. Every day you should look forward to being very productive, or as productive as you can be. Good morning to you, if you're celebrating your birthday today, happy birthday. If it's your anniversary, a happy anniversary. If you've suffered the demise of a loved one, accept our deepest condolences. Let me say good morning to Philbert Bertrand Jr. on the passing of your dad. Let's hope you and the other members of the family are keeping the good spirits. Good morning to Mr. Ian Monroe. Good morning to Mrs. Flossie Joseph and Ostel Ansem. Good morning to Irma Lafor. Good morning also to Simeon Albert. I want to say a special good morning to Mr. Ivor Stevenson out there in Grand Forks. Good morning to you, sir. Good morning to Honorable Peter Saint-Jean. Good morning to Bubbles, and good morning to Rudolph Thomas in Portsmouth. Uncle Elroy Piochen, Benji, let me say good morning to you. Good morning to the folks at Calibishi, Auntie Frederica and Company. Auntie Ede, good morning to you as well. Pascal and the rest of the family, good morning to you. It is indeed a beautiful day. Good morning to Justin as well, and Dwayne and Company. And let's hope that you guys are having a good day. Looking forward to a very productive one as well. Garford Joseph out there at the stadium, let me say good morning to you as well.
Good morning. Thought for today. Fill yourself with positive energy and shine. The thought for today.
Fill yourself
with positive energy and shine.
I want to follow that up. May your day be filled with kindness to others, as well as to yourself.
Right. Very interesting. Very interesting. Too often, we grow up with a type of attitude of just seeing Dominica as very negative. I've traveled, and there is no other country in the world as beautiful as Dominica. None to compare. And I grew up that way. I never wanted to go and work in England or the United States or Canada. I always felt that once you have positive energy, you stay focused, you can develop here in the country. The only thing I wanted to do was to go overseas to get higher education. But if it was available here, I would have pursued it, because I pursued the highest education that Dominica had, which was the sixth form college. But after that, there was nothing more for us. So we had no UIDIT at the time, so you had to go overseas to get that further education and higher training. But in terms of beauty and Man, there's none to compare. Here's some people, country hard, country this, country that. 20 years salaries on time. You think it's a joke now? 20 years salaries on time. 5 years salary always late. Cannot pay on time. If you have to compare and contrast, when you went to high school, literature, compare and contrast English, you have to make comparison between two entities. One entity paying 20 years on time, and the other entity you give them a chance. 5 years, and towards 2 years, 3 years into the administration, they cannot pay salaries, they cannot pay social security.
They're not paying social security.
And not only that, they borrow money from an international airport.
And up to now, we see it.
And up to now, you cannot find the relics. And then you're building houses in your own constituency. Archaeologists cannot find it. They can find the pyramids in Egypt. They can find all the wonders of the world. The 7 wonders of the world can be found. The only thing they haven't found yet is the lost city of Atlantis. But everything else, when archaeologists go, they're finding it. Right? But they cannot find this. And you're coming and telling me, under that entity, life was better. Are you well, Joe Thomas?
No. Shame.
Are you well?
Shame the shame. Let me put it to you.
Let me put it to you. Are you well?
Shame the shame. Shame the shame.
You're telling one entity not to sell diplomatic passports, and you sign, your signature is on a memorandum.
No. You're accusing. You're not telling them, you're accusing. Okay? Only to find out is you do. Say the thing properly. You're not telling, nobody's selling diplomatic passport but them.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
But anyway.
You're accusing people of treating. You're accusing people of treating. And who treating more than you.
And you don't know the meaning of treating.
And you don't know the meaning of treating.
But let me say good morning to a few people before I go crazy here. Good morning to Rose. Good morning to Mom and Lincoln and his brother out there in Massac, to Honorable Blackmore, to Mr. Paul Alexander in the Virgin Islands, to Elvis Moranci, to Shani and Mrs. Charles out there in the valley, to my good friend Bubbles and his lovely wife, I cannot forget her, and also to Honorable Catherine Danielle and Rudolph Thomas, and of course, a very good friend of mine in Marigot, Jonathan, and also my good friend, you know yourself out there in Marigot, Mr. Baptiste. Good morning to all of you and all the people of the Goodwill constituency. Good morning. Have a good day. Stay positive. Joe Thomas, we meet again today.
When you say we, who are you talking about?
The West Indies.
The West Indies and Australia.
We meet again at 7:30 in St. Lucia again. I'm looking forward to another defeat for Australia. I know some fellas, they are about fair, you know. They're telling me, look, Bryn, it will not be 4, you know how the West Indies does behave.
Yeah.
Well, 4 this morning.
Of little faith.
4 today. 4. And on Friday, 5.
Mm-hmm.
When we catch them, we have them on the run. And
they're making excuses, Bryn. They're saying, they don't come here with their strong team and whatever it is and so on. When we play them with our weak team, what they're saying? They're saying nothing. Man, take all you blows.
And I like the spirit of Gil. Let the old man, let the old man have fun. Let the old man. It's thank God the man at there with us.
But you notice what was 42. Different to his innings? Moving his feet and whipping that ball all over the place.
The man is enjoying his... let the old man enjoy himself. Now, we all have a problem with that. 14,000 runs in 2020. And all you have a problem with that. Let the old man... Even if you have to bring walking stick for the old man, just bring it now, man. We have done our former heroes the same thing. Yeah. Look at what we did, Vivian Richard. He was available. We didn't pick him. Look what we did, Kali Sharan. We didn't pick him. Look at what we did the other one in Guyana. Yeah, we were playing in Dominica.
Chandra
Paul. We didn't even invite him for a test match to have a grand finale. Desmond Hills. And now you want us to do the old man.
And it started from Garfield Sober.
Right, the old man, the same thing. Man.
My Gale was in thunderous form. And I'm looking forward to the innings again
Did you
tonight.
see that six? Did you see the distance?
Those sixes.
So if a man is old, can a man hit a ball that far? The man, in fact, in the six that they had, all the sixes that they had, when they calculated the distance, that Gale six went right in the straightway. At 42, the man has that power, that upper strength, and some men cannot even hit a ball from there to there. And let's pack the old man. All you think is so. You think it's so.
You'll see more wonders.
You'll see
Looking forward to more tonight.
The eighth wonder of the world as he performs for the World Cup. We're looking forward to that with great enthusiasm.
Looking forward to the tremendous performance of the West Indies team again tonight. That unit is gelling very well.
Very well. It's well cemented now. And those critics, well,
sorry for them.
I'm sorry for all you. Good morning, Darren.
On the overseas line, good morning.
Morning, Darren.
Good morning, my friend.
Glad you give Jyoti his 5 minutes of fame. That's nice of you.
Uh-huh.
I want you to deconstruct the meaning of continue and continue for me. Then just take it back.
No. Repeat again. I didn't hear.
I want you to tell me the meaning of continue and continue.
Continue and continue?
Yes.
All right.
Continuous.
Something else.
All right. We'll get involved in that.
All you fellas.
We'll get. But you all finished? Are you all finished?
Yeah, we finished. We rest our case.
Good.
We
Case
dismissed.
So if the case dismissed, stop.
The
All you
case,
finished?
yeah, the DPP has dismissed the case.
So I will wait this evening to look again at the game. 7:30?
Yes.
7:30.
Good. Nice seeing them on the lights as well, in the Caribbean. But they're playing in St. Lucia.
Yeah.
Again.
Election campaign heating up in St. Lucia.
Fellas calling each other crook.
I saw something there and I thought I'd seen it all in elections. And then I saw Shasney's trying to sing me macaque. Anyway, that's not for we will strange. It's 8:26 and the election day will be on the 26th of July. Okay, that is not this Monday but the next Monday, not the Monday coming but the next Monday, the 26th of July. Lucians go to the poll to elect a new government, and as we say to them, they determine who they want to lead them over the next 5 years. Okay, good. We can only look. We may choose sides. But they are the ones who will determine and make that decision who they want to lead them. All I'm saying is, please do the right thing. Look to the stars and do the right thing. You all will understand what I mean.
I know very well. I know where you're heading.
Boy. Folks, we began something yesterday, and yesterday when we left there, I got a number of messages asking me to bring Mills here for him to explain what is the Consumer Protection Association or Consumer Rights Association, whatever they call themselves. So, Mr. Mills, I extend an invitation to you to give you half hour so you can explain what your organization is. So you just contact me and tell me when you're ready to come to explain what your organization is.
Well, first of all, Mr. Mills, I'm giving you homework. You have to bring your mission statement, your vision statement, your aims and objectives. I want that. And your strategic plan for the next 5 years. I'm giving you homework. Don't come here like some fellas just talking. I want your mission statement, your vision statement, your aims and objectives, and your plan for the next 5 years.
When you finish,
tell your partner that what's his name? The environmentalist, Scotland. Scotland is in it too.
Well, so Mr. Scotland, bring it as well. And I want also an evaluation of your performance over the last 3 years.
When you finish there, you're signing
are you
him an
sure
MBA?
those people have been operating for 3 years?
Yes.
You sure?
I'm sure.
All right.
Bring your evaluation for the last 3 years for me. You see, the thing about it, as you're a trained teacher, they always want your lesson plans. They want it. Right?
Yeah,
so
you have to have
You
your
cannot
lesson.
come to the classroom without it. So you're not
But-
going. I'm
but
not
you
going to allow
cannot-
you.
You cannot ask a teacher for 3-year evaluation if the teacher has only been teaching for 1 year.
No.
I do not know how long the guys have been operating. They have an association. I do not know how long it has been in effect. So I cannot ask them for any period of evaluation. Give me something at their discretion. You stressing on 3 years. That's what I'm telling you.
Well, if it's not 3 years, they'll say, Brain, we have not been operating
Okay.
for 3 years. We have been operating for that amount of time. But very often, men come to discussions and they become elected as political leaders
with their hand swinging and
with their
asking you for a pen.
hand swinging and just raising money. I not in that. They must come with a plan.
Fellas come, they call themselves economists. And they come here with their hands swinging, asking us if we have pen and paper. You know, but anyway, leave that alone.
Well, I don't want Mr. Mills
No,
to do
Mr.
that.
Mills will not do that.
I want him
Mr.
to
Mills.
come with
So
his
when
plan.
he does come, if he takes up the invitation, and Mills, we're not here to cut you off and tell you cannot call. You know, we're giving you a chance for you to come and you know, just tell people
Right.
about your organization,
Right.
Consumer Rights Agency or Consumer
whatever.
Protect, whatever it is called. Come and talk, because consumers need an area for them to speak. Okay, and let them. If you have the agency, if you have the association, let you stand up and represent the multitude of people
Who have complaints.
who have a few complaints in terms of customer service, service delivery, and use of service in various businesses in the country.
Well, I want you to get the people who offer the services to be user-friendly.
Yes.
User-friendly.
Yes. And then maybe we can, because we are creating a dynamic Dominica, the government can invest in all infrastructure that it wants to or sees fit. But we have to have a change in attitude when it comes to service delivery and customer service. Learn from the Prime Minister, okay? Learn from him. That's a man who knows about customer service and service delivery. Learn from him.
And one of the things, Daryl, is that whenever you get something, let's say you get a house, your responsibility is to ensure that the house is maintained. Nice flowers, you take care of the building. In other words, you when you get something,
What if you cannot plant flowers?
get somebody to plant it for you. If you cannot do it yourself, they can.
I have played cricket a very long time.
You can
and
commission-
I know when somebody wants to bowl me a googly.
Well, just commission somebody.
But no, you cannot make a comment without referring to cricket.
When you
I challenge you for the rest of the week.
Sports.
Do not make a comment. Everything is cricket. It comes
but I must
repetitious.
tell- I
Comes
must-
natural.
I must tell you that when I visit his edifice, there are beautiful flowers around
Iki
it.
me Taylor.
Well, I don't know who
Moi
put it
made
there.
what checks you.
But
Pas
it-
moi ayen.
And when you finish it,
Moi made.
about
Si c'est Iki me Taylor.
Well, I
Google
assume
I
that.
ask you.
Bowl your
Don't come.
googly
I don't know,
still.
but
You
it's
too
there.
hypocrite.
bowl your googly still.
And Sogo, oh my,
very close.
oh
So
my,
go.
oh my goodness,
So go.
oh my,
You say
goodness
that.
me, man.
The people in Bellevue, okay, and other places in Delis.
Sogo takes care
Moi
of that.
man they want check your CCE nom la ki acide à côté.
Well, if it's in front of his door, I can assume.
You can assume.
I can make an assumption unless proven wrong.
Hadley Adams. Ay.
Unless somebody proves me wrong, I can only assume that
I believe you're falsifying veracity this morning. I'm using, not
why
you'd
look
like
some-
to use
look
big
some big
English
English,
now?
boy.
I believe
Look
this
some
morning
big
you're
English.
falsifying veracity.
well, my credibility can be enhanced if you would visit it. Joe, don't get
8:32 is the morning time.
Get involved in that.
You cannot get involved.
No, I
You
don't
cannot get involved.
No, I like some people pretending I can't get involved in that.
You there sit down there trying to bring Braid have one bung to bowl you.
But I will do like
Braid have one bung. When we found out what you
also
did.
Richardson. I
When
will
we
flick
found
it
out
over
what
my
you
folder
did
to the
in
boundary.
Kalibishi on okay. 8:33 is the morning time. The Heng brought to you compliments the good folks at Flow Dominica, Busy Bubble Laundry, Cash and Carry, and Auto Trade Limited. When we come back, we will show you what the most disorganized party is doing these days. You don't know what is treating, you don't know the role of the DPP, and you cannot understand even basic English language. When we come back, we'll talk more about that when we return.
Calling all Flow prepaid customers. Flow's new value-loaded, always-on prepaid plans means great news for you. Get unlimited talk, up to 50% more data, and more international minutes to keep you always connected. Try our 7-day always-on plan today and get 8 gigabytes of data and 500 local and international minutes for only $30. Dial *129# now to activate a plan or visit discoverflow.co for more information. Terms and conditions apply.
Daddy, you dirty your clothes again, and mommy not there to help you though. Well, pam, pam, daddy dirty his clothes.
Easy breezy, busy bubble laundry service on the hustle. Washing, drying, folding service. Washing comfort cause it's worth it. Kiddies zone, cribs and toys.
Come on, daddy, bring the boys.
Dirty stains from wine and malts. Come on, man, it's not your fault. Busy bubble.
Visit our new location on the Castle Comfort Highway next to the Cicero Hotel. Busy Bubble Laundry, taking the busy out of your day.
Are you looking for good eggs? I mean quality fresh eggs straight from the farm? Well, we have exactly what you're looking for, no matter the quantity. We've got the right amount. Visit us at Prince City downstairs Kyrie FM on Independence Street for your fresh farm eggs, or call telephone 448-7331, 448-7330 or 448-8752 and we'll get you your fresh farm eggs.
I'm not exaggerating, boiling with excitement.
Auto Trade introduces our newest line of lubricants, Valvoline, America's first branded motor oil. Valvoline has been formulating and improving motor oil longer than any other brand. From the world's first racing oil to the world's first synthetic blend, Valvoline has been trusted in engines around the world for over 150 years. Make the switch today. Choose Valvoline, the original motor oil. At Auto Trade, we only recommend the best in quality because at Auto Trade, it's more than a vehicle. It's a relationship. Valvoline Lubricants, now distributed by Auto Trade.
During and after a hurricane, you may need supplies to keep your family safe and healthy. Be sure to include items such as a first aid kit, flashlight, batteries, candles, at least 3 days of non-perishable foods, water for each member of your household, along with any necessary prescription medications. Make your list. Stock up on everything you might need early to be prepared. A message from Cash and Carry.
.37 is the morning time. I want to go straight to the telephone because we have Senior Counsel Anthony Estefan on the line. Senior Counsel, good morning.
Good morning, Daryl. Good morning to you and to Brain and Jyoti and your listeners.
Good morning, Senior Counsel.
Senior Counsel, I want to begin the discussion without any preamble, but to ask you a direct question. What is the role of the DPP, the Director of Public Prosecutions?
Well, I think the best description I ever heard was from Sir Richard Cheltenham in a matter we did together in St. Vincent. And the judge asked him that precise question while he was addressing the court. I think he was representing the Prime Minister, Ralph Gonsalves, and I, the Attorney General. And he says, Madam, let me give you an example. Consider the criminal justice system as a farm. And like all farms, it has a gate, it has a fence and a gate. And the constitutional job of the Director of Public Prosecution is to decide whether or not any person, meaning a private criminal complainant, or an authority like the police or customs, should have her or him, in St. Vincent it was a him, open the gate so that they can enter the criminal justice system in order to prosecute the matter that they brought. And Sir Richard said, if the DPP is satisfied of a number of things, including that the charge does not disclose an offense known to law, or that the evidence which the DPP has sought does not disclose sufficient evidence to warrant a prosecution, or which is likely to lead to a could you hold on 1 second there?
Yes. Senior counsel. Okay. So.
I have to call you back.
Yes. Okay. Good. Now, I asked senior counsel that question because of certain utterances, as you guys like to say, I heard coming from them fellas again. Okay? I am lost. I am lost as to what law school Bozo go to make such statements. And you know, folks, I don't like to, but I am seeing the merit in letting you listen to those guys yourself, because you might say, is me that's saying what I want. Right thinking people can never say things like that. Tan Bozo. Okay? Listen to that.
First, the Director of Public Prosecution has the authority under the Constitution.
Oh, so that's not that one. This one.
And in fact, there is no provision in the Constitution talking about take over and discontinue. It is only take over and continue.
All you hear that? Zotansa?
And in fact, there is no provision in the Constitution talking about take over and discontinue. It is only take over and continue.
I mean, Bryn. Let's see if that's senior counsel. Senior counsel, is that you?
That is not senior counsel. But a question about senior counsel. Good morning, Dario.
Good morning.
When it comes on asking if it's not true that the DPP usually review the police case depending on the matter, and also take a decision whether the case has merit to continue.
Well, I can answer that for you. I heard senior counsel answer that question last night, and the simple answer is yes.
Yeah, and the other question, can you tell me what law school or who is legal advisor to Uncle?
Well, I don't know, nah. I don't know. I think just now, Uncle will go to the hospital, walk into Dr. James's office, and demand to perform surgery. Because a man that was kicked out of high school, a man that after he was kicked out, did absolutely nothing to enhance his education, got through in life on pull string, is today giving legal advice so emphatically that you'd swear is he that wrote it himself.
Darrell, I want to ask you a question.
Me?
Yes. If you can continue something, if you have the ability to continue something, don't you have the ability or the right to discontinue?
I think Clarence explained this thing best
but we have the law.
night.
We have the law, the Constitution, 72 2C,
Mm-hmm.
subsection 2C,
Mm-hmm.
to discontinue
To
at any
discontinue,
stage
right.
before judgment is delivered
Mhm.
in any such criminal proceedings instituted or undertaken by himself or any other person or authority.
Mhm.
The Constitution is clear.
Go on to read.
So go on to read section 72 of the Dominican Constitution is clear. I just read it.
But this is how we come in Dominica in 2021. Okay? You know, the words I would use to describe this man, you guys would flog me in the studio to tell me
Don't use it.
In your presence, men older than me, my seniors, I am using such language.
No, don't use
Because I cannot understand, like you like to say, brain and for the life of me, I cannot understand how one man can be so damn stupid. This is not si ou pas fou measure stay, you know. This is downright foolish, idiot. To tell me that you hear yourself making that comment? Huh? You hear yourself saying that thing? On the overseas line, good morning.
Good morning, good morning. Thank you for taking my call.
Yes.
Gareth, if you continue to play the clip, you remember when he read it twice?
Yes.
He realized that he goofed.
Partner, even Spags, Melon Head, can we miss you? Huh?
Play the clip and you'll realize.
But no, man.
You caught himself and you realize, like, oh shoot, that ain't making sense. Play it.
No, man. One person.
What was distasteful for me? Take over and continue.
But that's why he said now I'm C.
No.
Why she didn't act on the C?
So C says to discontinue at any stage before judgment is delivered any such criminal proceedings instituted or undertaken by himself or any other person or authority. Now you have to read this and read it well.
Right.
It says here in C, at any point before judgment is delivered, the DPP can discontinue any criminal proceeding that the DPP himself or herself has instituted or undertaken. Or the DPP can also, at any stage before judgment, discontinue any criminal proceeding that is instituted or undertaken by any other person apart from the DPP. So the DPP did not need to take over the criminal prosecution to discontinue it. And
Me papa bodi. Lenok saukadino.
No, I do not understand. You know, one of the things that I learned very early at the grammar school, when you were doing English language with Mr. Ira George, that some men can speak well, but their understanding is off. You read good or you speak fine English, but your understanding is far off. There's no correlation between your speech and what you and the content.
Let's go to the local line. Call on the local line. Good morning. Call on. All right, call on the local line. Call us back, please, if you don't mind. Yeah, so Brain, all right, let's go back to the local line. Call on the local line. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes,
good morning.
What do you expect from an empty big head? Julius comments asked the man one question, and he was baffled. He could not answer the question. He said that he is a novice. And the man have not learned over the years. And that man, the man is not even fit to be opposition leader of Dominica. Edison James just take him and just push that on him. The man want to be prime minister. I mean, the man showing the whole world what he is. The man only say he can do, only talk, but the man do not know or nothing. And another one that backing him, they call him in Pastor Rodney. And I believe Pastor Rodney need to go to God and ask God for forgiveness, because Pastor Rodney, we call him Pastor, Mr. is not no pastor. All the man is doing is put confusion in Dominica, and the man, because he's supporting UWP, he believes that everything UWP do is right. Lennox tell us that he is a novice. The man so nom to stop. Nom la pani pièce indication na tête nom la pani nom la devenu prime minister, but I believe that he'll dream of that. He'll never sit down on the prime minister chair. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
No, but comrade, when you look at, let me just, Lennox need to apologize. When you look at Section C of Section 72(2) of the Constitution, it's very clear. Has the power to discontinue. The meaning of discontinue in simple is to stop at any time of the proceedings. What are you talking about, Lennox?
Let's go back to the local line. Call on the local line. Good morning.
Gentlemen, good morning. Jyoti, Brain.
Good morning. Good morning, Senior Senior Minister. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Senior Minister. I know. Good morning, sir.
What's happening to you guys?
Yes. Not too bad at all.
Not bad at all.
Okay. I mean, just before I say what I have to say, I want to make an announcement, Diary, if you'll permit me.
Go ahead, sir.
To inform all the students and the parents of students who have books that they received from the government for the last academic year to please return those books immediately, that arrangements can be made to have new books distributed for the upcoming year. You need to bring in the books that you had last year. You don't need them anymore. And even if you need them, you need to bring them back so you could record them and you can have them back. But we need to do that quickly because time is running out and we do not want to be rushing at the last minute. So all of those students who have received books from the government for the last academic year, I'm asking that they return them to the office before the end of the week, to put a deadline, that we can make arrangements to have new books distributed to new students and to the continuing students. Thank you, guys. Thank you. We there?
Listening to you, sir. Listening to you.
Yeah. No. Very quickly, because the government, with cabinet, you see, we're not idle, in this cabinet. We left cabinet late last night. We're going back again this morning because we have matters of the state to deal with. People who are idle all day can sit and talk foolishness and confuse themselves. And that is the state of an idle mind, to make such a fundamental blunder. But the fact of the matter, gentlemen, is when you live a lie, when you spend all your time living a lie, when you spend all your time practicing evil and meting out evil against your fellow men, when you spend all your time making false statements, one of those days, these lies, this evil, this false statement will catch up with you. And it's very, very clear that it is catching up now with Lennox Linton and the United Workers' Party. That you have one of the dumbest members of parliament that this parliament has seen, which is Sprax John. And when Sprax John can look at you as a leader of a party and laugh at you and chuckle, and he's trying to correct you, but you're so deep into your lie and your misinformation that you cannot stop. You would like to stop, but you cannot stop. Because I listened to the explanation for Section 3. And there's nothing you can add to it. It's as clear as crystal that the DPP, if I understand it well, before a decision is handed down, can discontinue a matter or can continue a matter brought in by yourself or by somebody else. So to that effect, I can almost cram the thing by just listening to it. And Lennox Linton is saying to you, listen carefully, but repeating the exact same thing. So the dishonesty of Lennox Linton, having made so many allegations, having taken the government, the Labour Party to court for a reason that he knows that was not truthful or factual, that he got these three gentlemen who hardly knew what they were getting involved in to file a case against the government for treating. After 7 years, these guys have not one piece of information. You had 7 years to gather evidence. And all they could pick up were the hatchet men, the United Workers' Party, the hatchet men, all of them on Q95. And only Nicholas George can say that he was affected by the treating because he forgot to vote for himself when he was so bamboozled by the concept that he forgot that he was a candidate. He did not see his name on the ballot. He did not see his name on the ballot. They vaguely him that the only name he saw on the ballot was the name of Lady Daniel. He didn't see his name. His name disappeared. And so he voted for the Labour Party because of the effect or the impact of the concert on himself. Total lie, malicious lie. So that I am not surprised. I mean, these guys have gone ahead. They've attempted to attack the Prime Minister on all fronts. And none of the allegations made against the Prime Minister or the Dominican Labour Party, they either did not make it to court for lack of evidence, or those that made it to court were thrown out of court due to zero evidence. And all the evidence now those matters is being pointed to at the United Workers' Party. This is the only party that was declared with evidence attempting to sell diplomatic passports for monies and finances to give them an advantage at the election. I'm not sure if that is treating. I'm not sure to what extent that goes. That is the evidence that we have. The only person who was caught in Dominica trying to sell diplomatic passports was Lennox Linton and the United Workers' Party.
That's a fact.
Nowhere in all the allegations made. The international community is still looking. They can't find anything that they have strengthened their relationship with the Dominican Labour Party, financial institutions, and all international institutions. They have strengthened their relationship with the Dominican Labour Party government in spite of and despite of all the allegations made by Lennox Linton. Lennox Linton went to the United States on CBS, made allegations. Those allegations were investigated and the result was zero. The international community found nothing on the Dominican Labour Party to not even a warning. They would have issued far less for making an accusation against the government for what led. So the fact is, my brothers, that those who live by the sword will die by the sword. And Lennox Linton have been living by the sword, deceiving and fleecing monies out of the hands of poor people of this country under the pretext that they need money for legal defense fees. My brother, creating scenarios, creating situations where he has to go to court and to go on his fundraising exercise. And when the United Workers' Party people who put money in that fund, when they ask them how much money you collected from us, where is the money you collected from us? The United Workers' Party disrespect and disregard these people for asking about their own money. That is our money. The lady said, that is my money I put in the fund for legal defense. That is what you asked me for. How much have you paid the lawyers for your legal defense? And when the poor lady asked the question, you disrespect her, you cut her off, and now you make the lady afraid. She asked 3 or 4 times. She went on the radio, and the only person who responded was Brian Linton. He said, ask Lennox Linton, Nicholas George, and Isaac Baptist for the money. They know where the money is. Ask them what they do with your money.
Through them
They're
under
the
the
ones
bus.
managing the money. Ask them where your money is. When you deceive people, my brother, when you take from the needy, when you take from poor people, when you take from pensioners under false pretense, when you dupe these people into putting money into a fund for a particular purpose, whether it's a private fund that you alone know about, whether it's whatever, you take these people money, my brother, you are cursed. And that curse will manifest itself in different ways and different forms. And what just so happened to Lennox Linton that had Nicholas John, Sprags John trying to point him out to the facts? You've been led by an evil spirit that would not even allow you to see the wisdom in your own people of which you are a leader, and has Sprags John laughing at you, shaking his head because of your lack of understanding or your dishonesty in acknowledging the fact that, boss, you're making a fool of yourself. The law is very clear. You cannot twist it. And he says, Sprags, read it properly. Read it carefully. And I'm sure Sprags tried to read it carefully, but Sprags gave up. Because there is nothing Sprags can tell the guy, stop making a fool. I don't even sure if that discussion was meant for public hearing. Something happened there. And they maybe thought they were on mute, on silence. And they were not, and that's why they were captured, because it's clear. But my point is, when you live a life of evil, hurting people's families, saying untruths about people, making outlandish accusations that you cannot prove about people, just because you are driven by persons who purport to have money that will support you. But for how long can God be tolerant to you? You have passed your 77 times. And I think God himself is very fed up with you, and he has exposed you. So, Lennox Linton is not confused. He's being driven by the evil spirit that he has brought onto himself, by the hurt, the pain, and the affliction that he has brought upon the Dominicans, including his own people. If you listen to Mervyn John Baptist properly, the state in which his mother was when the United Workers' Party and Lennox Linton refused to come forward with some support, some financial support to see him through his court matter. And the United Workers' Party lady called and said, boss, we give you money. Where is the money? Please help the man. And they chased the lady out of the radio. Lennox Linton is reaping the evil seeds that he sowed. He's reaping the evil fruits from that seed. Brothers, we have to go to meeting. We have to go to the nation's business. But I just had to make that very small interjection. And I'm sure that debate will continue because it exposes the nature and the character, among others. There are many other exposures that have been made in the past. But they just keep piling up and piling up and piling up. And remember what happened to Judas after he betrayed Jesus. And let us hope that Lennox Linton does not meet a similar fate. Thank you, gentlemen. Good morning. God bless you guys. God bless the leadership of this country. Bless our Prime Minister. He sits there wondering why is it that Skerrit so quiet? Why is Skerrit not taking no action? But Skerrit has the Most High working for him and taking action on his behalf. And that action has been manifested by what I consider to be a clouded mind, an evil clouded mind of Lennox Linton and the United Workers' Party and Nicholas George. And all of them will meet a similar fate. Thank you, gentlemen. Good morning. God bless you.
Good morning.
Good morning, Senior Minister. It is 1 minute after the hour of 9 o'clock on this beautiful Wednesday morning. Let's do this.
Daddy, you dirty your clothes again, and mommy not there to help you though. Well, bam, bam, daddy dirty his clothes.
Easy breezy, busy bubble, laundry service on the hustle, washing, drying, folding service, washing comfort cause it's worth it. Kiddies own cribs and toys,
Come on, daddy, bring the boys.
dirty stains from wine and malts, come on man, it's not your fault. Busy bubble.
Visit our new location on the Castle Comfort Highway next to the Cicero Hotel. Busy Bubble Laundry, taking the busy out of your day.
During and after a hurricane, you may need supplies to keep your family safe and healthy. Be sure to include items such as a first aid kit, flashlight, batteries, candles, at least 3 days of non-perishable foods, water for each member of your household, along with any necessary prescription medications. Make your list, stock up on everything you might need early to be prepared. A message from Cash and Carry.
Calling all Flow prepaid customers. Flow's new value-loaded, always-on prepaid plans means great news for you. Get unlimited talk, up to 50% more data, and more international minutes to keep you always connected. Try our 7-day always-on plan today and get 8 gigabytes of data and 500 local and international minutes for only $30. Dial *129# now to activate a plan or visit discoverflow.co for more information. Terms and conditions apply.
We are launching the new 2022 Nissan Frontier. Join us at AutoTrade this Friday, the 9th of July at 10 a.m. Come test drive this vehicle and learn about different financing options. Remember, at AutoTrade, it's more than a vehicle, it's a relationship.
Are you looking for good eggs? I mean quality fresh eggs straight from the farm? Well, we have exactly what you're looking for, no matter the quantity. We've got the right amount. Visit us at Prince City downstairs Kyrie FM on Independence Street for your fresh farm eggs, or call telephone 448-7331, 448-7330 or 448-8752 and we'll get you your fresh farm eggs.
I'm not exaggerating, boiling with excitement.
4 minutes going down after the hour of 9 o'clock. That's the Wednesday morning time. You're on to the Heng for Wednesday, the 14th day of July 2021. And Brain, it continues to amuse us and in some cases amaze us. The utterances of the leader of the opposition. Let us continue with this statement here by the leader of the opposition.
In fact, there is no provision in the Constitution talking about take over and discontinue. It is only take over and continue. Right.
But Mr. Linton, if there is a provision to take over and continue, why shouldn't there be a provision to take over and discontinue?
Well, no, he was misleading the people because Criminal Law 101 with the Dominica Constitution tells us control of public prosecution, right? The Director of Public Prosecutions. Prosecutions means more than one. It's plural. So we're getting a lesson there. There shall be a Director of Public Prosecution whose office shall be a public office. Subsection 2, the DPP shall have power in any case which he considers it desirable so to do. Subsection 2A, to institute and undertake criminal proceedings against any person before any court of law in respect of any offense alleged to have been committed by that person. So Mr. Linton knows the Constitution. I'm not a criminal lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just an ordinary school teacher. Subsection 2B, to take over and continue any such criminal proceedings that have been instituted or undertaken by any person or authority. So we know that. And subsection 2C, which Mr. Linton tries to mislead us about. Mr. Linton, take lessons. Take a lesson. I'm giving you a lesson. Let me just read that one. Subsection 2C, to discontinue at any stage before judgment is delivered in any such criminal proceedings instituted or undertaken by himself or any other person or authority.
Let's go to the local line. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Could you speak up for us, please?
Please?
Yes. Well, I'm using a different phone, so I'm going to have to raise my voice a little bit because this phone is not my... Comrades, I don't understand. I'm trying my best to understand. I have asked Mr. Jyoti as well as Mr. Brain to kindly please carry out an investigation for me on my behalf and on the behalf of every patriotic Dominican. Is it okay for you guys to carry out an investigation finding out what happened to the People's Ink? Because we're talking about honesty in public office. We're talking about integral people. There was this group in Dominica called the People's Ink. What happened to the People's Ink? There was only one proprietor, one owner, one secretary, one treasurer. All of a sudden, this very same person became the leader of the United Workers' Party. This People's Ink group was a group developed by Lennox Linton to take for people's
Yeah, but
money.
you're going off tangent.
You're going off tangent. Stay on course. Stay on course.
caller.
Stay on course.
Okay.
Avoid that.
Okay. So guys, I'm trying to wonder though, what have the leader, the Prime Minister of Dominica, really did to these people? What have he done? Jyoti, is giving somebody a house is something wrong?
No.
Jyoti, paying for a child college tuition, is it something wrong?
It's honorable.
You mean assisting the senior citizens in their young years who help build and develop a standard development of a country? Is it something wrong? Building up a hospital, building up of health centers, taking care of people of the less fortunate and the underprivileged. Is that really, really, really something wrong? Well, if that is something wrong, I love to be a part of something wrong. And this is something wrong that I want to be a part of. Because there is absolutely nothing wrong with assisting people who deserve being assisted. And that is the reason why I, the voice, Aaron Libre, from St. Joseph, who received a house under this very same government, who continue to assist, whether you be young, you be old, you be whatever you are, I will continue to defend this government.
Thank
because
you.
there is a roof over my head as well as many other people in Dominica. And we, the people who receive houses, must not be afraid to call the radio and say thank you, because it is not something wrong.
Thank you very
morning,
much. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, I would like our callers please to stay on course. We're looking at the statements made by the Honorable Lennox Linton, the leader of the opposition, in regards to the
aspect of discontinuing, the role and function of the DPP. That's a simple thing. The role and function of the DPP. And he has the Constitution before him. So he cannot be misquoting the Constitution. All he has to do is visit the Constitution.
He has the Constitution before him. And he continues, he is reading from the document, you know.
He has the document in front of him.
And rather than read, he doesn't have an understanding of it.
No, he has an understanding. He is misleading. Because the Constitution
clearly... Well, I have to say he doesn't have an understanding of it.
No, but he is misleading the nation. You know when you have a mindset and you're lying all the time, that you're forgetting that you're in front of people and you're still lying? And he has a knack for lying. And so he has the Constitution in front of him and he's trying to read what is not there. And this is dishonesty. This is very dishonest. It's not a question where he misinterpreting. It's a question that he's misleading. He playing lawyer. You are not a lawyer. You did not go to law school.
But I don't understand.
Why he likes to play law? You did not go to law school.
Here it is. You have the document in front of you. You are reading from a document, the Constitution of Dominica. Other people have the very same document that you have. So why is it you should try, or why is it you should attempt to mislead the people? What do you hope to achieve by doing this?
Because when you go to the relevant section of the Constitution, you can read it for yourself.
Right, this is what I'm saying.
And the language is not complex, The language is not legal language, That's ordinary language, for simple people to understand,
Let's go to the local line. Good morning.
Good morning, Joe. How are you today?
Not too bad.
Good morning, Auntie. How are you?
Yeah, nephew, I might step out, man.
Step out for a minute.
For a minute, yes.
Okay. Hey, what's up? Yes, Joe. You don't know, Linton is one of these bad seeds that follow along the wayside. Lennox Linton is a very wicked man. And this morning, that's what I have to tell Linton. Linton school is free. PM make school free for everybody. Make use, take a class, do something. Linton know what he's doing. He using mind-bending tactics on his supporters. You understand? Linton know fully well what he's doing. But Linton make use of school, man. Stop making yourself a fool. Good morning.
Thank you very much.
Right.
Good morning, caller.
And we had the people from the University of the West Indies. There are summer schools, And there's the university where you can study law, for long distance learning.
Lots of people who didn't finish high school or whatever. Let me tell you something. In my day, growing up as a child, in your days, you could have taken a standard 5 child, a child in standard 5, to teach a class, My mother didn't go to high school. She ended up being a principal of a school.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
You can continue study.
Yeah, let's go to the local line. Caller, good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you. Good morning.
Yes.
Hey, he's answered the call. Good morning, Superintendent Mills. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm just listening to the question about simply speaking, Lennox, as far as I'm concerned, would look at the constitution that he was reading, and because the constitution say he might say a woman shall be the DPP, No, I mean if that's the way he interpreting things,
yes.
He will say a woman not supposed to be the DPP, and he'll see the appointment. I heard them say that she's appointed. But whatever way she's appointed, he would say, well, that's an unconstitutional appointment because he's a he, and he's a she that there. So Lennox Clinton sometimes deliberately use simple thinking, simple analysis to try to confuse people. And that is why Brain and Jyoti, I will keep on repeating the mind-bending technique because all Lennox Clinton and them trying to do is to just make a statement and make sure that the statement is out the enemy there, That's all they want to do, From the time they make this statement, their supporters and some people will always believe it or mostly believe it. And that is what they are trying to do. So we have, mind-bending, disinformation, misinformation, it is something like the COVID virus. It is out there and they are spreading it. They're spreading it as much as possible and they want to infect people with their disinformation so that they can be confused and then you'll find people are being radicalized. That is why we have to watch it in Dominica, because we saw what happened in February 17th and we saw what happened yet every time. The main aim and objective of the Workers' Party now is to see if they can get people to flip. That's the word they're talking in Donald Trump. So what they hope is one day, you feel like they heard about a demonstration in Cuba. They're excited about it because that gives them hope that one morning they just wake up and they find Dominicans so angry that they're all in the streets looting and rioting, and then for Lennox to come on the radio and say that will continue to happen until such time that Roosevelt Skerrit resigns or demits office. So that's the political strategy of the UWP. So every time you see we're discussing those kind of malicious and frivolous statements, we must also remember the aim and the objective is to keep confusing the people so that the people will not be so, how you call that again? They will not be so, they will be acting with their emotion and not with their intelligence. So that is what and that's what they're trying to do, because that type of system, I always call it on ethical science, the science of mind bending. So we need to get our people to protect themselves against that epidemic or that pandemic called disinformation and misinformation. That's all I wanted to say about that.
All right, let's go straight to the overseas line. Good morning.
Good morning, Jyoti. Good morning, Brain.
Good morning, comrade. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. I don't know if Darrell is in the house.
No, he just stepped out.
for a minute.
For a minute.
Okay, so I want to say good morning to all our radio listeners around the world, both at home and abroad. I've been thinking about this thing, Brain, and I am not baffled, but every time I think about and listen to the way Leonard Clinton really interpreted what he interpreted the other day via the media, it is very not only shocking but embarrassing. Can you guys imagine if Leonard can interpret or a simple
Section of the
simple
Constitution.
law, 2 lines, 3 lines, that is clear, basic English, basic English 091. That is no highfalutin,
Language.
big university
Language.
paper. A simple English, and he cannot interpret that. How is Lennox going to? Let us say hypothetically, if Lennox had become anything of substance in Dominica in terms of, being at the highest level, how would he, communicate or have any kind of exchange with a regular prime minister in the region, with a UN ambassador, with a president of a big country? I mean, how would you, if you can't do this, how would you be able to have a discussion or discuss with people of high level at a high range in terms of the educational
Background.
And that is why when Lennox went to the Privy Council, they make him, they tell him a fool.
Right.
Because he's still trying to impress people who are way more educated than him and end up making himself another total fool and embarrassed, to say the least, himself. So I mean, we sometimes we laugh at this because in some cases, it's laughable. But when you sit down and you listen and you really reflect on the level of idiocy, I would say, that would exist, Brain, or the level of stupidity that is inculcated in the mind of this guy, it really left nothing to desire. And this is the guy that is up front criticizing and trying to criticize a prime minister. A prime minister in the person of Roosevelt Skerritt, Dr. Roosevelt Skerritt, who has represented himself on every level, whether it's local, whether it's regional, whether it's international. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerritt has represented himself in a most eloquent, educated, and a high level at every meeting that he has attended. That is why he is respected in every corner around the world because of the way he has produced, he has presented himself and on the different stages of this world. My friend, I don't want to be long, but I just have to put that in because I believe we have reached to a point in Dominica where these guys they have no value. They are no added value. They have done nothing. There is nothing that they can do to elevate or to help this country. So I think, in my humble opinion, that he should stay away from politics. He should resign from politics because he can't interpret the basic English, the basic law, he can't understand it. He twists it and turns it. He is not qualified to do anything in this country. Resign and just go and do some agriculture. If you can farm if you can do that. But do not be on the political scene because you're not qualified for that. Gentlemen, thanks for the short time. I'll be listening. Very good program.
Right. Thank you very much, my friend.
Well, Jyoti, there's a new thing that they have. It's called total quality management, where you measure the performance of your manager, and you use different indicators of measurement. And one of the major indicators of measure is what is known as your level of analysis. How you analyze. So when you look at ISO 2021, which is a standard for measuring excellence, then Mr. Linton would have failed. Miserable.
Let's
Miserably.
let's go to the overseas line caller. Good morning.
Morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
What's up, brothers? What's going on?
What's going on, brother? How are you?
Hey, what's up?
What's up?
Good, good. Jyoti, you feel better today?
Yeah, I feel a little better today.
All right. Praise God for that.
Yes, my brother.
Yeah. Jyoti and Brain, just you know, I am amused. I'm really amused that a man who's so inept and so ignorant can really bamboozle people into thinking that he's so smart. You know, because when you read that part of the Constitution, that
Section 72, yes.
Yeah, brain raid, right? It is telling you it's like brain raid. There's subsection A, right?
Yes.
Why it says to institute and undertake criminal proceedings against any person before any court of law in respect of any offense alleged to have been committed by the person.
That's right.
Okay. B, to take over and continue any such criminal proceedings that have been instituted or taken by any person or authority. And there's a semicolon and there's
And, yes.
Continue at any stage before judgment is delivered, any such criminal proceedings if it is undertaken by himself or any other person.
Yes.
Right? Now, the and means that it joins the two subjects together.
Somehow you go down low.
Right.
I
No,
don't know why
that's a
call it-
conjunction. And.
Right.
And.
Right. Exactly. Right? It's a conjunction. Right? But and is also used to join groups of words
Together, yes.
Yeah, exactly. To join two sentences to give it
Oneness.
one meaning.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
right.
exactly. Right? So when it says that if you summarize this, right? When it says to institute and undertake criminal proceedings, right? Then to take over and continue any such proceedings and continue at any stage, right? But Linton reads the things word for word, and he's incapable of understanding nuance, right? He reads it word for word, and he doesn't put it into context, right? So because it says section B and in section C, he reads it independently, but there's an and there that joins it together to give it, like you say, oneness, to give it one under one heading, one meaning.
1 minute, yes.
Right. So the DPP could to take over and continue, and to also discontinue.
Continue, yes.
Right. But that is Linton. Linton, he doesn't. I honestly believe Linton is honest, but his brain is very shallow. Right. He's very, very ignorant, and that is a result of not going to school. That is a result of not pursuing your education, not going to higher learning, but having a big mouth and thinking you're smart and can fool people. Because this is very, very basic and simple. And if you understand the English language, he would get him. He would know the meaning of what he's saying. It is very, very easy to understand, right? But that's what you have in Mr. Linton, a man who continues to embarrass himself over and over again, thinking that he's smart, thinking that he's better than Tony Astafan and Lennox Lawrence. He's a lawyer, he's a doctor, he's everything.
But Colin, you know what's mischievous? The man is trying. He's trying to mislead the public, and he's trying to get people to hate the DPP. You know. He's trying for people to try to ambush the DPP. You know, the man is endangering the DPP life. You know, when it goes on like that, people think it's the DPP.
The DPP.
Yeah,
or
and
the DPP has no authority, or the
no DPP, and the DPP just
sure
do what she want.
Yes.
He said he putting the lady's life in danger. This is a very serious thing. that Linton is doing there.
Brain, that's a very good point you're making. That's a very good point you're making, right? Because what he has done right now, right? He has inflamed tensions among his base.
Yes.
Right? And then he have other disciples like Pastor Rod and others, right?
Blessings.
Insinuating that the DPP acted that way simply because she got appointed.
That's what he's doing. That's what he's doing.
And others are saying simply because her fiancé
God help.
Medical attention and there's an aggressive attack on the DPP.
Yes.
Right? And I heard Pastor Rod talking about, if people don't get justice, they will take it into their own hands.
But he's endangering the girl's life, the lady's life.
That's what they're doing.
He did the same thing to the judge. The man is dangerous.
These guys are indecent.
Very indecent, man.
Very indecent people. And they don't think about the impact of the words. And it is very, very sad and it's very wrong.
They don't think they know what they're doing.
Man.
Just wicked.
Mob rule. He wants mob rule in the country.
I agree.
He knows what he's doing.
I agree. And you see, those are the things that we have to strongly condemn, right? We have to. These people cannot think that they can get their own way in Dominica, and whenever they don't get the way, when the courts have ruled, right? You cannot go on the radio and on Facebook and incite violence, right? They have no respect for rule of law in the country. When they win, it's okay, it's fine. The DPP is good, or the judge is good. Right, they go to the CCJ. They were happy. They were celebrating like they won the lottery. But when the claims are thrown up because it is ridiculous and without merit, they want to incite violence. And this is how can we live that way? We have to live in a civilized society, right? We cannot be led down this path by these guys, man. But anyway, my friends, thank you very much for the opportunity. And good program.
Thank you very much. Well, Jyoti, allow me to make a comment here.
Morning time. Go ahead, Bray.
We are putting the courts under stress, Lennox Linton. He's endangering the lives of the judiciary. They are independent body under the Constitution. He's attacking the courts. And anybody who attacks the court endangers your safety, my safety. The courts are independent and they take their own decisions. And when you win, you say thank God. And when you lose, you say thank God. They are there to protect the public. And when you have a party, every time they lose, they're attacking the courts. That is very dangerous. They attacked Bernie Stevenson, the judge on the island. Now they're attacking the DPP, coming with all kinds. Oh, she gave a judgment because Mr. Skerrit helped her husband. The man's life was in danger. Mr. Skerrit helped Mr. Christian, Dr. Sam Christian, to the tune of over $250,000. They're not telling the public that. Lennox is very dishonest. He's a dangerous man for the island. He's a very dangerous man. I'm saying that on the records. Because he's misleading a public where he has a base. He knew that 15,000 people voted for him. So he's appealing to that base. He's trying to have them to insurrection, mob rule, take over, coup d'etat.
Let's go to the local line caller on the local line. You on the overseas line, hold on for us, please. Call on the local line. Good morning.
Jyoti, very quickly here. On this very matter, this last point that Brain is making there, I think it is sad that the Dominica Bar Association and the Committee of Concerned Lawyers cannot make a statement on that matter. You may not like the politics of the Prime Minister or the party or the government, but on the matters of law, you are schooled, you are trained, you understand the law, that should be rebuffed. That statement attacking the director of the prosecution and officers of the state where they're going to ply their trade to be attacked in such a vulgar way should be rebuffed by the Dominican Bar Association and the Committee of Concerned Lawyers. We live in a civilized society, an ordered society, and not because Mr. Lincoln is so and so. It is so and so, or it has to be so and so. He has to understand that he has his own limitations, and what he understands of the law, is not what is the law.
But he knows jolly well what he's doing. He's trying to bully his way, bully people. You know what I mean? So that
but that's the point, so as long as the Bar Association and the Committee of Control remain silent, and perhaps egging him on in private, go for it, go after the DPP, go after the judge, he will continue unless they speak their way forcefully so, and to decry what is happening to the learned lawyers and the judges. He'll always do it.
Well, they're showing that they have absolutely no integrity.
Because what he has placed on the public record as his understanding of what that particular provision of the law means, that is scandalous. It is so foolish, and the lawyers, the Dominican Bar Association, they cannot sit back anybody and allow an untrained mind in law to attack the very fundamental basis of how and where they apply the truth. The man is going after the Constitution. He's reading it in one way and he's interpreting it in another way. And he thinks that his interpretation of what he's reading is
right.
the law. He has to be told it's not so. Who's advising him?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You think anybody advising him?
No, but thank you, caller. But very interestingly, I asked certain senior lawyers, but when Mr. Linton was going to the Privy Council with the law lords, the final case to be heard by the Privy Council, because we're moving to the CCJ, why he didn't go with a QCina to London? They told me, Mr. Never listen, And he went before the law lords, and he tried to play a fast one. May have. The white man watch him. May have. And he fell for it. And the white man tell him, must have. Can you imagine? You're going before the law lords by yourself alone?
Let us listen to Lennox again.
Take over and continue.
But that's why I said now I'm C.
No.
Why she didn't act on the C?
So C says to discontinue at any stage before judgment is delivered any such criminal proceedings instituted or undertaken by himself or any other person or authority. Now you have to read this and read it well.
Right.
It says here in C, at any point before judgment is delivered, the DPP can discontinue any criminal proceeding that the DPP himself or herself has instituted or undertaken. Or the DPP can also, at any stage before judgment, discontinue any criminal proceeding that is instituted or undertaken by any other person apart from the DPP. So the DPP did not need to take over the criminal prosecution to discontinue it. And in fact, there is no provision in the Constitution talking about take over and discontinue. It is only take over and continue.
You hear him?
Take over and continue.
But that's why I said now I'm C. Why she didn't act on the C?
So C said.
So how would you mark a paper? You're a teacher. How would you mark a paper?
No.
How would you mark a conversation?
No.
Like
I was very hard marker. I was taught by some of the best. And you do not just get marks. You earn it. When we went to high school, it wasn't everybody just coming, There were standards established to get promoted. You know that. So you can't come here. Mr. Linton never went higher than 4 form, He never went. There are several forms, in the grammar school at the time. There is 6 form, The highest form there is 6A, So if you left at fourth form, it means you did not even have time to write your CXC. You wrote your CXC in fifth form. And you're an exceptionally bright guy, you may do 2 subjects in fourth form. So when you attain fifth form, to get to sixth form, you must have 6 O levels. 5 O levels on the first sitting, and if you double fifth form, 6 O levels before you attain the sixth form college. But you did not even graduate from the high school. But even if you didn't graduate, but you could have had continuing education, which you didn't have. So what are you telling me?
All right, to the local line, good morning.
Hi, good morning, guys.
Good morning, how
Good
are
morning,
you?
Brain.
Good morning.
Jyoti.
Good morning.
My constituents. No, I'm not a lawyer.
You're on the opposite line, hold on.
But you have a daughter who is a lawyer.
But that doesn't make me a lawyer.
But you can ask your
You're
daughter.
not a lawyer. You can't be a lawyer by association or by relation.
Thank you, Catherine. Go ahead.
No, I'm listening to that thing over and over. And the end result is the dismissal or discontinuation of the case. It's like saying you're going to marry God. The DPP has 2 options as read in the Constitution. You could either pass through Portsmouth or you could either pass through the Imperial Road.
Pass through the bush.
But at the end of the day, you're going to marry God. So you can choose one because there are conditionalities in those statements. So the DPP choose to discontinue. So what's the issue? We're not just fighting a semantic thing, but at the end result, the options that the DDP has, she exercised those. And case closed.
End of story.
No.
End of story.
End of story. I do not want you all to keep beating that aspect of that statement. That is a distractive way of staying away from the real issue. The real issue is the motive to destabilize the country. So whether we stay talking about whether the DDP should or should not have options, the law has given her the option. She has acted well. So when we spend time debating that, we live in the real issues of the destabilization of the country, which is the motive of these people. And we have to stick to that.
Yes.
The destruction they want to cause to our prime minister, we have to stick to that and put that in the minds of people. That is what we should be doing. To give people the information, the links between what is the Polisario, where they went to, what type of people these people are, and what you can get from them. Because what is happening in the United States, what happened in Haiti, is just on our doorstep. So you really have to let people know the options that are available to them in their actions that they are doing. Going to the Polisario, the passport thing, diplomatic passport within what days, to do what? All this call for boots on the ground and thing in an effort to do what? All these statements by Nicholas George about there not enough guns and the consequences that we will face. These are threatening things, and we cannot glib over these. So please, yes, we can talk about this discontinued. We pass that stage. This is not an issue again. Let's stick to the real issue. Look at the drone. We have to tell people this drone could have had a bomb in it when they let it go down in the PM residence.
Oh yes.
So we have and we have to link it. It's not only the prime minister that can be affected in that plot that these people are planning. Your people's lives. You bring it home to people. What are the consequences for them? Because if an insurrection is done, we wouldn't have the mark on our foreheads to say, well, these are workers, these are this, and you will bypass them and whatever. We will all get caught up in that type of situation they're trying to create. So let's stick to this. And every time it hurts me, and I keep saying, it is not about Roosevelt Terry the person, the lack of respect for the office of the Prime Minister. This is dangerous. When you create that kind of atmosphere, when you instill in people, you go stare it on the radio, lack of respect for the office of the Prime Minister. So when you come in, do you expect to get that? If you come in, do you expect to get that respect? And so, gentlemen, let's stick to the task and let's educate our people. Let's continue to pray for our country. Let's continue to ask God's guiding hands upon us so that Dominica can remain a peaceful country. Have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lady Daniel.
The real issue, Brain, is the destabilization of the country. The real issue is to put things on hold and confuse the people so that you can slide in, hopefully can slide in as pride. You cannot get through to being the leader of the country through the ballot. So you want to do it by other means.
No. We're very simple. If not the ballot, then the bullet. If not, the two B's. It's either by the ballot or by the bullet. What else? So when you're preaching that kind of this concept, you're trying to come in by the bullet, by the gun. That is what it is all about, Joe Thomas. Simple English.
Can we go to the local line? On the local line, caller, good morning. All right, the caller has left us. Call us back, please.
In simple English, there's no mixing of words because we're hearing Nicholas George telling the police, we know what you have.
We'll get to that statement in a little while. Let's go to the local line. Caller on the local line, good morning.
Hello, good morning, comrades. How you doing? Doing?
Good morning.
Good morning, Honorable. How are you?
I'm okay, man. Taking my blows, but trying to defend my country.
Good morning, Clarence. Good morning, Clarence. We have to.
Yeah.
Good morning. Go ahead, Clarence.
Something. It's true we know Lennox Linton is an imbecile. So, your statement. But the statement that concerned me a lot is the statement made by former senior police officer Nicholas George. This is a statement. I do not understand why Nicholas George is not arrested and be in the police headquarters for questioning. Nicholas George is a senior officer. He was the police officer responsible for security operations. Nicholas George and I, as director of audit, we work together. Nicholas George knows every single thing that the police has in its armory. Everything. So for Nicholas George to be on the radio telling the public that the police do not have enough to stop them down, to keep them down, Nicholas George is telling the people of Dominica and the world what the police have indirectly. Nicholas George is under oath of secrecy. He cannot go out there and say what the police have and what the police do not have.
That's right.
So he has violated his oath of secrecy.
That's right.
Why is it Nicholas George is not arrested? I want to ask the commissioner, why is it Nicholas George has not been arrested and taken in for questioning? Something is not right. You cannot be under the oath of secrecy to be disclosing the secret of the state. This is state security. Bro. And I want to mention the three police officers who went to give evidence on the treating matter, basically saying they were just treated and they voted for the Labour Party instead of the UWP. It was a lie. These are three police officers, senior police officers, who knows how to use lethal weapon. We see what happened in Haiti with commandos from Colombia. These guys should be under constant surveillance. Constant surveillance. And if they have any firearm, those firearms should be taken away from them. We have to get serious in this country. We cannot allow UWP to think they can intimidate the majority of the people of country. 23,000 people voted for the Labour Party. 18 seats. How can you allow a minority to try and intimidate the population? Bro, this thing is getting serious. Nicholas George, a former senior police officer on radio, telling the people that the police do not have enough whatever ammunition and guns to hold them down, when he knows exactly what the police has. Bro, I mean, this is serious. This thing is getting serious. Very, very, very serious. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, my friend. Good
and,
morning,
and
Clarence.
you know, I agree with every word that Clarence has
What
said.
was distasteful for me is the disrespect that was heaped on the complainant, Mr. Edincourt Selvar. He is the complainant. The charge is on his name in the court. And if the Director of Public Prosecution, who has the authority to discontinue, who received the disclosure of the evidence a month ahead of the time that she decided to take over the case and discontinue it, I believe she could have called the complainant and informed him. That didn't happen.
Why do you think that should have happened? I just want to know why that should have happened.
Because what happened, you see, I will tell you what happened. What happened.
Let's go to the local line. Caller, good morning.
You know, the senior counsel is right, you know, on that issue. The CCJ court is creating big waves, and it is influenced from a program which is infiltrated from a past character.
What are you saying?
What are you saying now? What is he saying? Joe.
Let's go to the overseas line.
We can't allow those things, you know.
Yeah. All right. They call on the overseas
No,
line.
we cannot. We taking calls, but we cannot take those type of calls,
those
Joe.
type of- Let's go to the overseas line. Call on the overseas line. Good morning. Call on the overseas line. Good morning. All right. The caller has left us. Let's go to the local line. Good morning.
Hi, morning.
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, what Clarence said there this morning there, I fully backing him up. But from the time I heard what Nicholas George said, I see postman should have been arrested and asked question. Because you can't tell, don't can those kids. You're making me afraid. You're making the others afraid. But one thing I tell you, don't touch scary. Because whoever touch scary, I myself, even though I cannot walk, I tie my with had nobody can turn on me. God bless scary and bless us. And tell me, go where and the sun don't shine. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. To the overseas line. Call on the overseas line. Good morning. Caller on the overseas line. You've been trying to get us for a little while. Let's go back to the local line. Good morning.
Hey.
Yes.
I'm making a point that come and tell me.
Cut off this gentleman.
Let us
Joe, before we take the calls, we have to be responsible. That wait a while, if a person calling and to make a point, fine, but they cannot just believe that they must dominate or talk those type of foolishness on this program. This is a very serious program.
Let's go to the overseas line. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing, Brian?
Not too bad at all.
Good morning.
I just wanted to tell your listeners and Clarence that Mr. Nicholas, right? That's his name, the police?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he said today on the other side he's gonna turn himself in this morning because the police came to his house last night or early this morning and he wasn't home, so he's gonna turn himself in. So let's see what happens after that.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for the information.
Gotcha. Right.
Good. Right. Bye-bye.
But he needs to turn himself in. He needs to turn himself in because the statements that he's making has the whole of Dominica in fear.
Yeah. Let's go to
a very serious statement. He needs to turn himself in.
Let's go to the local line. Caller, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Good morning. How are you doing?
Not too bad at all.
Yeah, let me ask you. We haven't got any law in the land that people see anything with their mouth and they just go scot-free.
No, you cannot just say what you
can't
want.
say what you want.
You cannot just say this is a serious state, This is not a
whereas you have freedom of speech, it doesn't mean that you can just say what you want.
Freedom of speech, but there's supposed to be a level of things, a level of language you should speak. You can't just come and say any and anything and figure you could go scot-free.
You're right.
All right? There's some form of discipline. The man was the security of the arms, and right now he threatened and said that the police have got enough to really sustain them if they really come doing any kind of stuff, and in the end of it, he walking scot-free. I mean, this is out of order. We're supposed to really get certain things. They need to implement certain things. Certain things need to stop and stop immediately. And if you cannot stop it, then we put you in. That's it.
That's it.
No compromising.
Thank you very much.
Foolishness, man.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. To the overseas line, good morning. Call on the overseas line, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
Good morning.
You know what I find? Lennox and his cabal and them is getting away with too much thing in Dominica and nothing behind it, so they're taking it longer now. All the police officers in that police force in Dominica are crooks and they are undermining the government. Okay? They are crooked. It could be superintendents, the chief, all of them are crooked because the next day,
No, we can't allow
they
that.
arrest Nicholas George, the same instance, and Nicholas George, no, all of them are support.
All right.
Jyoti,
All right, caller.
Jyoti,
Thank you
we
very
have
much.
to be responsible. We cannot allow this type of utterances. We have to be responsible. As citizens of the state, we are guardians of the law, every one of us. And so our responsibility is to ensure that fairness prevail. But we cannot be making those type of order. If you take an oath of secrecy, then you cannot be disclosing certain elements of that. There's an oath. When you work in high security organization, you have to live with a secret until you die.
Right. Let's go to the local line. Call on the local line. Good morning. Call on the local line.
Morning. Good morning, gentlemen, for a short.
Well, it has to be short. It's 9:54 in the morning time.
Yeah. Now, Jyoti, very short and sweet. I need to ask this question. I really need to ask this question. Is the police force the final court or the highest number? I don't know. I'm trying to find out.
Go and rethink.
When you get your thoughts, call us back, please. Call us
Get
back
your
when
thoughts
you get your
first.
thoughts.
Get your thoughts.
Call on the overseas line. Good morning.
Yes, Joe, you all are doing a fantastic job.
Thank you very much.
Tell you, I agree with Mr. Clarence 100%. What's your name again? Nicholas George needs to be calling for questioning. And it also should be such as well. And let me tell you something, Joe. I like this catastrophe. To tell these little supporters, these haters of my PM. You see what's happening with Jacob Zuma? Some of his supporters dying for him in South Africa, which Jacob Zuma deserves to be in jail. They're thinking labor rights. We'll sit down, we'll fold our hands, and we will say, die will be done. 0 points on that one. We will stand up with OPM. That's the like something touching. You understand? You have a blessed day.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. On the overseas line, good morning. Call on the overseas line, good morning.
Short and sweet. Good morning, gentlemen.
Short and sweet.
Short and sweet. Time is running out on us.
Mr. Adam is right, We cannot call this program and think it's a kindergarten program. No, Mr. Clarence said something very serious I've been saying for the past couple of days. Let us take this thing serious and just arrest these fellas and lock them up and investigate these fellas. Because I'm in America and my ears are on the ground. I just listen, I just listen to things in America, on the other side.
Yes.
Please, take that serious. God bless. Love you guys.
Thank you very much. It is 9:56 in the morning time, 4 minutes before we get
it's
out
getting
of here.
very hot in there. But you see, we have a responsibility. We have to be very responsible. We are one people, and we have to love our country, and not to try to plunge our country like Luanda Tutsi versus Hutsi. No, this is not tribal war. We have to be responsible.
Last call on the local line. Good morning.
Morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Don't worry, one day at a time. The secrets will come out, and Judge know exactly he has more on his plate. So have a blessed day. God bless you.
Thank you very much, caller. 9:57 is the morning time. Brain, it was good, clean fun being on the radio.
Oh, it was very
morning.
good fun, and we've got to educate the masses. We've got to be responsible people. We have to love our country with all our hearts. Regardless of our religious or political differences, we are one people, but we have to be responsible. We cannot be irresponsible.
Right, and we can only encourage you and urge you to go out and have a very productive day. Again, the word is be responsible for actions and for statements. Can't be irresponsible at all, because this country is ours to build, and only we will build it. Dominica, this is the Heng for Wednesday, the 14th day of July 2021. There's a caller. I've got a couple of minutes. Let me try to sneak in that call on the overseas line. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Man, tell them guys just don't touch our pay because they can just stop. But anytime they think of that, they just have to just behave themselves. Let them just stop, but none of them can touch him. Okay?
All right, caller.
No volume.
All right, good. Yeah, so that's where we come to the end of the Heng for today, Wednesday. We'll be back on your radio, God willing, tomorrow with another Heng program. Hopefully, Daryl Titt will be here for the entire program. Until then, go out and have yourselves a pleasant day.